Welcome back, my humans. We are here to continue working on my doll. This is the state it's in, if you remember. Head removed. Legs are out. I've done the drilling on this one. A little bit of carving, but not too much. These ones have just got drilling so far. I've got half a torso with an upper arm. And she's had that thing cut, and then the drill goes through. I'm gonna need to do a little clearing out in the middle there, but I haven't done that. Here's the other leg. It's been drilled and cut into. We'll see how much trimming I need to do. Now, I know I said I was going to leave this leg in there, but I think I'm going to take it out because this one's detached, and I just think that, like, they might as well both be detached, and then I'll figure out a way to rig them to each other rather than trying to rig this to this half of the body when it doesn't have any of the support stuff it needs on the inside like this one does. So, yeah, get ready for that. My plan is to reattach the body parts together, so all the joints and then the body here. I have my, just a minute, I have things on top of it, of course. Picture of me, so I make sure that I get the spacing correct. We'll take her out when the time comes. We got leg to detach before we actually get around to that. All right. Let's just get right into it. I'm just going to go ahead and start by ripping out some of these bits that we don't necessarily need in here. Boy, you are hard plastic. Where are you severed? Okay. What does the inside of you look like? Okay. You might be doing this the stupid way, but we're going to try a couple things, and if none of them work, then we'll pull out my Dremel. Ah, come out of there, you little piece of crap. Okay, well, that was easier than I thought it was going to be, which is good. I appreciate that. This is what the inside of this looks like. This catches in the torso so that your legs can't pop out side to side, but it allows them to swivel. I'm going to clip that off. I don't want to try to attach the other one back to it, and I think it's going to be easier to put back in without it, so. She's coming off eventually. I mean, I have to get through it with my wire cutters. The other one went through, so I have no reason to believe this one won't. Ah, there we go. Okay, she's through. Let's do a little clean up on this. Get her a little less pokey. I think that the pokes on the side there are going to interfere with the hip swiveling. Not that I'm even sure I'm going to be able to get the hip to swivel once it's in there, but listen, I'm not going to make it less likely if I can avoid it. Okay. She's out. Chuck that down in the trash down there. What is this? This weird black thing that came out of there when I chopped that off. I don't know what it is. That's, I don't like that. Okay. Yeah, I think this yellow probably definitely came from my hacksaw blade. All right. Getting all the little nitpickies out of there. And let's see now. I'll deal with cutting her hair shorter later. I am not focusing well at the moment. Everything is like, do this, do that, do the other thing, all up in my head. So be prepared for me to be real scatterbrained, at least until I, like, get into the groove of things. So in order to put these things back together, we're going to need dowels and wire. I'm not sure what sizes of stuff we need, so I just went through my bin of wood stuff. Got a few toothpicks, which based on the look of this might be the right size, but they also might be just a little too small. I have a skewer for like kebabs. I have this dowel, which I have a package of more than there. I don't think I would need more than this. Which is a little bit bigger, I believe, than a toothpick. Yep, just a little bigger. Seems like a pretty good candidate. Seems like it would be strong enough. And then if none of those work, I have a chopstick. This is definitely going to be too big, but this might, I mean, depending upon what we do with the hips, this might maybe make an okay hip. I have a whole bag of round dowels. And a square dowel, apparently. A couple square dowels. All my other square dowels are in a different bag in there. Of various sizes. So, if what I have out here doesn't work, we'll see what we can find in here. And if nothing in here works, we're going to figure out something else, because I'm not buying supplies for this. I have so many things in my crafting hoard. I know we're using what I have. Okay. So, let's test out some dowels here. I'm gonna test this on the arm. Seems like a pretty visible place to do it. Push you through. Just a little loose. I think that this other dowel might be the right size. Yes, this dowel is the right size. It's perfect. It's nice and tight in there, and it slides through. This is also allowing me to see what's going on in the middle of this arm. I definitely need to carve this notch further up in there. It's not deep enough. This is touching the back of it, so that at least is good to know. While we're testing, let's just test it out on the leg and see how that goes. Okay, the leg also will need some carving out, but not as much as the arm. I do actually have a little bit of space around it, but not enough for the size of wire I want to use, so it's not doing that. Let me just check this wire real quick. Yeah, this wire's close to the right size, but it's not exactly the right size. I was gonna make it into an ear cuff, but I got bored partway through and never finished it. I have a bin over there of a bunch of them, like, that I started and never finished, and probably will never finish. So I took this out of it to see if it would fit in here, and we may or may not end up using it to make some of the hooks, but I have a different spool of wire that I was planning to use for that. I should test the size on this as well. This is 14 gauge galvanized steel wire. It resists rust, which is just great. This stuff is hard. I don't know if I'm going to be able to bend it, which is why I'm not fully discarding the idea of using that other thing. I also have a bin of wire, which I'll probably pull out and see what I have in there before I actually use that silver wire, just because, like, it's not the strongest wire. But this stuff is, like, heavy duty. It's hard wire. And so it also feels kind of gross, but that's not surprising. It's not meant to be used for crafting. She's tough. I wasn't sure that I would be able to bend it with these pliers. Certainly not with these wimpy little things. This is for little crafting wire. So I got myself another pair of pliers in case I can get resistance on both hands. And then this guy, if I need to make a tight curve, I think will work better than either of the other two. It's just got a little bit narrower of a point. She's also got a cutter, so you can see what this does in terms of cutting. I'm not even sure I can cut through this wire, but we're gonna try. Oh, okay. Definitely can cut through. Good news. Let's just test out the bendability of this. Definitely not by pressing against my finger. That's too hard. But what about you? Okay. As long as I'm holding on to the other end with something, I will be able to bend this. She might get too rigid if I bend her into too small of a curve, and she might snap. So we're gonna have to try that. This is not going to be one that I would worry about coming uncoiled, however. Once she is wrapped around there, I don't know. She's gonna stay how she is. Ooh. Listen. I want to bend you back the other way. But you do not want to do that. So we are going to try a different method than what I was trying by placing these two side by side. Okay. No, she's doing good. It's going to take some time to bend these into shape, but I think it's going to work just peachy. Now, size-wise, let's see how she does. It's not hot. I was expecting it to be hot. A lot of the time when you bend a really heavy metal, a really hard metal, it heats up. She didn't heat up very much, so that's good. Oh, she is too small. Okay. Could I shove two of those in there? So I might be able to stick two pieces, like if I were to make this thing and make the curve in the top of it, like halfway through the middle, and then shove two stems of this down there. We're going to try that. Because I would like to use this wire because it is very sturdy. Okay. Well, that's a good thing to know. Let me just test this on the other limbs. Yep, same with this one. Gonna need a little more carving out. So, we are once again swapping out my regular glasses, which I wasn't wearing last time because sometimes I forget to put them on in the mornings. Unless I'm like doing stuff. Then I usually remember, but when I'm not, then I sometimes forget. Okay, where are you at? I had you a second ago. Here you are. Let's get chopping. I was really hoping I wouldn't have to do this, but you know what? It's fine. How did you guys' chopping go? I mean, it was successful. I've seen your limbs and they are attached. I just, have some curiosity about how you went about it and how easy it was for you. You were using they're Monster High dolls, I think, right? So they'll be smaller than this. So that probably would have made it a little bit easier. No, we're going back to the needle nose. That one was a sad waste of my time. I mean, that works great on skinny little teensy toonsy wires for, like, twisting them into loops. But it doesn't work so well when you're trying to do something, like, heavy duty with it. I want to just test fit this. It's not ready yet, but I have a curiosity. Yeah, I definitely need to dig that further in, but it's not as far off as I thought it was going to be. And it seems like the knee joint is going to work, which is a good thing. Yeah, that makes me happy. Okay, let's get to chopping. I did clear that out pretty well. Problem is that this area is narrow and I can't turn my... I can't, like, cut from side to side in it. I can only cut up and down and, like, add a slant. So I'm like, yeah. This was why I was trying to use a drill the other day, because it would be easier to just bore this out. Stick you in and see if I can get... We'll go popsicle stick. Okay, so the popsicle stick does go through. This... Okay, that turns with the popsicle stick. Now we're going to try it with the actual size joint I would like to use here. A little stiffer. That's fine. That's good. We'll hold it. Oh, I think it's going to hold the pose pretty well. All right. Let's take a little gander here. Ooh, her leg has a lot of articulation. Nice. That might be reduced when I add the extra like fat on it and the muscle. So yeah, but that's okay. Look, she's looking good, and it doesn't, I mean, it swings forward a little bit, but that's just because this isn't glued in here. I think that once she's actually on there, properly adhered, I think she's gonna stop at her knee. So that's fun. Good, excellent. That works. I'm very pleased. Okay, which leg are you? You are not X. Good Lord. Oh, I can see the X on that one. And I can see the X on that one. Okay. I had correct legs together even. It's magical. Okay, let's see. Yeah, no. This needs some assistance in the form of butchery. I'm bored already of doing this. I did a lot of it on the last one. Okay, let's do a little dry run. All right, and with the toothpick. Ooh, crooked. But it does go through. What about you? Do you turn? You do rotate. All right, let's try you with this. Ooh, that's not a good sign. I'm looking at this dowel, and it appears to have been damaged by this wire bit. I might need to replace this dowel with actual, like, other metal wire, because I don't want the dowel to snap in the middle there. But this, on the other hand, does seem to be working okay. So I must have enough room in there for it to be fine. Okay. Come on. Better not give myself a friggin' sliver. I will be displeased. I'll pick a little more out of here. Oh, you're rubbing against that a lot. What about you? How do you look? Yeah, but you know what? That's okay. Well, friction will keep it from doing itself. Wow. Words are working real well for me today. Okay. So this is the thickness we need. But if you can see the damage on the end of that, is that blurry? Is that it? Yeah? Okay. That's a little better. Try this thing? No. We're just going to do it like this. How close should I get? Not. That's a bad idea. I'll figure out where the blurriness ends. Okay. Seems to be getting into focus now. Yeah, that's damaged from that wire wrap that I had stuck in there to act as the part of the joint. So we're gonna see if we can find a wire that's the same size as this. All right. Now, I have here my wire bin. It's very well organized, as you can tell. I just need to find, I believe this is smaller. It is smaller. I am correct. You look chonky. How wide are you? Ooh, this one's almost the right size. I've got one little piece of it, though. I need more, probably more than that. Not by much, but I think I do need more. Let's see what we got lurking down in here. Ooh! I found another piece. Okay. Now, can we find any more? Ah, yes! The universe has smiled upon me! Look at how big of a piece this one is. And I got some more little pieces. Okay. Excellent. We're doing great. We are finding things that we need to find in my boxes of hoard. Okay. Now, it's got a little damage on it, but that's fine. We'll just cut it there. It's aluminum wire, definitely not steel. That's okay. Aluminum is just fine. Let me just do a quick test of this wire. See if it'll go through. Oh, you are all kinds of janky. Smoosh you into a better shape. Screw it. We're gonna trim a little piece off. Oh, that might have been a mistake with these wire cutters. Oh no, it trimmed cleaner than I thought it would. These needle nose have a little wire cutter at the bottom. Okay. Yes. Good. Okay. Excellent. This is the right size. All right. I'm very happy right now. This is why I hoard things. In case you were wondering. Let's cut some more into this arm, which should be easier than the leg, because it was when we did it the first time. Come on, stop splaying like that. You're not inspiring confidence. I'm going to cover the outside of you with stuff, though, so even if you're a little sad and wimpy, we'll still make you work. Shove you in here. Yeah, definitely not deep enough yet. I'm looking and I can see through into that hole. You can see through it right now. When I shove this in there, when it's the right size, you're going to be able to see through. But right now you can't because you're seeing this piece of the metal. Which means I need to cut this deeper. This is not my favorite thing to do. Okay. Where'd you go? There you are. Okay. If you can see there, see through it, that means it's deep enough. Which is what I like to hear. Boy, that is a long way in there. And now on to chopping this arm. I will say not having that leg on this thing is making my life a lot easier. So removal was the correct decision. Let's get you plucked like a feathered bird. Alright. Boy, this rubber is flimsy. Alright, where's my test piece? Not quite deep enough. Not quite. There, I think there's a lump sticking up in the middle. Maybe just the whole thing isn't deep enough, but then you're right. Let's go back to chopping. Alright, let's see. Ooh, look at how gouged up that is. It's looking like crap. Okay. It's almost there, but I do need to take a little more out of the back. It's just not quite sitting down into it the way it did on the other one. Okay. No, it's still not deep enough. What is preventing you? Fine, I will get even more aggressive. Oh, that looks bad. The other one didn't bend this much. What are you sitting on? That little piece of crap right there. Come out. Don't try to tell me you won't come out. You will obey me. Eventually. Okay. That was annoying. Grab our little bench scraper. And still just a piece of paper. Scrape all the little rubble into my bin. Okay. I Okay. Come here, you. All right. Ugh, it still does not feel nice. It's just like a little bit gritty. Not my favorite sensation right there. But this is a hard wire, and I would like to use something that is not going to deform on me. Okay. For a second. That is about the right length. How far up is it? This is called the really precise way of measuring things. All right. 1 3/16. Remember that number. You don't have to remember that number. But if you did, I would be happy about it. Come on. Doing good. Just making her progress. Listen, I just want you to bend outward. I also want this side to bend outward. Boy, I'm not enjoying having to find weird angles to bend this at. But could be worse. I'm not complaining that much. A little bit, but okay. We're gonna make a test to see if we can get this into here. Ooh, I do think that's gonna go in. Let me get my pliers. And come on, pressure fit. Don't try to disobey me. It went. It didn't want to, but it did. Okay, which leg are you, X? Yeah, that'll fit through there. Okay. Come on. Come on through there. The other one went. I don't believe you when you say you won't. Okay, yes, she's going. Trying very hard not to curse. But I'm gonna be honest with you, babes. I curse kind of a lot. Especially when I'm frustrated. Okay. Yeah, she's doing pretty good. The knee doesn't quite meet. I think that my post going down into the thing is a little bit long. I can just trim that. She's looking great. Look at her. She's a leg. Excellent. Okay. I'm very pleased. Now, what was that in measurement? 1 3/16. Ugh, that's freaking hard. That's my frustrated sigh. Okay. Let's do this thing. In general, it is easier to work with longer pieces of wire. But I'm going to keep cutting them short and then bending them. Because I can control the length this way. But just in terms of like, oh, I need to manipulate a piece of what you have like a long piece to hold on to, and then the other end you can twist stuff with. Yeah. But in this case, I have to hold on to it with pliers anyway. I can't hold on with my fingers because there's not enough resistance there. They're just gonna move away from it when I try to bend. So when the handles of your pliers start coming off, just wrap some electrical tape around it, and then the electrical tape can smoosh around and leave sticky black residue on your fingers. the classy way to do it. Getting all this together. Come on now. Sit side by side. Don't cross. Whew. Okay. I'll just go ahead and try this with these. I do generally prefer needle nose pliers to the flat end pliers, but other ones are fine. They're just, you know. There's the other leg. Good Lord. One day I will be able to find things on my desk, but I would not anticipate that day arriving anytime soon. I am notoriously unable to find things when I need them. Okay. Push down a little. Okay. It's looking good. And now give me a little chunk of this. That cut nicely. Should always use the correct tool for cutting things. It works really well. I may have pushed these in just a little too far, which was not what I anticipated. However, I'm going to push it further back in if I'm wrong. So, come on now. Nice. Ah! Just stab myself with a piece of plastic while I'm working with metal over here. The irony is, you normally would stab yourself with metal. It tends to be a lot pokier. But yeah. Okay. Here are my legs. The kneecap's a little far forward on there, but I'm fine with it. I don't care that much. I didn't attempt to actually line up the hole in the leg, and I'm willing to accept the consequences of my decisions. So, awesome. I'm going to need to do some wire trimming there, obviously, and gluing, but legs are falling into place. All right. You should be the same size as the other one. No, that's way too big. We're not going to do that. Bendy are you by hand? You're not very bendy by hand either. I'm not enjoying the fact that this gouge down here keeps stabbing me in the finger. So we're just going to clip that off. We're going to use aluminum wire on the arms because, let me just double check this. I think it's going to work fine. All right, how long do I think that is? I think that's about 1 inch long. So we're going to try 1 inch long. And then if it's not the right size, we're going to cry about it. Actually, you know what? In the interest of demonstrating to you the fact that it is actually easier to work with wire if you have something to hold on to and not just have to use pliers, I am going to use, because I can just push against it with my thumb then. This might not work for you until you get a little older and your hands get a little stronger, but it might. So you could try it. I'm just saying, like, some things adults don't remember they don't have the hand strength for when they didn't have the hand strength for when they were kids. So let me see how. Oh, that's pretty close. We're gonna need to make you a little bit bigger. Come on now. Yeah. How about now? I mean, yeah, okay, she goes through. She just got a little bit sticking off there. That's being a pain in my behind. Okay, good. Now, upper arm, come here, you. It's wider than I'm prepared for, but you know what? We'll figure it out. We're going to be bulking out that arm anyway, so I don't actually care. Okay. Cut you to about here. Uno más. You don't know what that's a movie reference to. But when you're older, you should watch it. It's a really funny movie. Blow my nose again. There's one thing you can be sure of. It's that I will have a runny nose. Come on now. You have to get in there. Alright, so I'm getting to the point where this end is small, and if I keep pushing out with my fingers, I am going to end up cutting myself on the end of that. So I'm going to quick test the fit on this. It does go through. Okay, so I don't need to do anything more with that. If I did need to do anything more with that, I would use pliers on the other end, because I don't want to cut my finger. Measure that against the other one. And do a chop. Okay. All right, arms. Try and get this lined up. I will have to glue those into place. They set in there pretty nicely, but they will need a little bit of support. Okay. All right, yes, you are this arm. Nice. That was sheer luck. I just picked. Oh, you need to be cut shorter. Look how far down that goes. Yeah, we're gonna trim this guy a little shorter if we can. Okay, let me just see if I can shove that further in there. No. You don't want to make it too short, but if we do, I can just bend another one. Test her out. Yes, I do have the right arm. Literally and figuratively. You know, we're going to clip that again. Talking is working real well for us today. All right. Okay. She's in. And come on now. Don't try to tell me you don't work, you butt-faced miscreant. Just pain in my behind. Come on there. Listen, friend. You will do what I want you to do, or I will be very upset. Come on. Where is this going? Is it even going through that hole? It doesn't seem to want to do that. Listen. You have to go through. Ha! You went through. Okay. Now we find out how much. Okay. So remember how I told you I was going to carve the arms when the time came? We're definitely getting a restriction of movement in the arms. That's as far forward as they roll, and then they go back straight. So, fortunately for me, I didn't actually fasten this in yet. So I can just take this and carve a little off the back of this, or not the back, the inside of this elbow here. I don't want to take off too much because I think it'll weaken the arm, but I do want this to actually, like, bend at least to a 90. I don't need to bend all the way up. So we're gonna just give her a little choppy chop. See what happens. Don't you do that. That's not the goal. Backwards is not the goal. Arm. Okay, she's almost to a 90. Okay, you can see where she's hitting on the thing. That's preventing her from fully getting to a 90 degree. All right. Probably should take a little bit off of here, but the inside of that joint is large, so I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. So we're gonna just a little bit, but yeah, most of it's gonna have to come off this part of the arm. It's all good. Oh no, don't do that. You're gonna chop your thumb open. Okay, okay. I still have a substantial amount of rubber around that, just so you're aware. Okay. Good. Yes, she's doing good. Okay. There. She can bend to past a 90 for now. Once I add some bulk to it, it probably won't, but that's okay. We are prepared for our joints to be restricted. And again, things are going to need to be trimmed, so. All right. You go in this way. And I need a little piece of this. Will you go in there? I would like to use you up. I don't think you're long enough. Oh, no, you weren't long enough. Okay, okay. You would, in fact, be, like, exactly the right size. I mean, assuming this will go through there at all. Just start to go. I can see you. Do it. Okay, okay, okay. She's doing good. Yes. Okay. All right. She's in. The arm. Woo. Is honestly already rolling forward, but I think that's because this peg is a little too long. Okay. We're gonna trim the peg a little. Just a little bit. And then, okay, so there's her arms straight. Yeah, this rubber's gonna need some support. And then, yeah, she's blocking it again. So let's do her little trim on this. She's restricted by the size of that wire on the inside, which I don't mind, again, doesn't bother me. And now, the arm. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. She's fine. She works. She's fine. All of our joints are created. Hiccups. And I still have a lot of this wire left. So if something goes disastrously wrong, I have options. Ow! I hate hiccups. That's not gonna make them go away, I don't think, but it'll help me calm down. So, all right. We're doing good. We're looking excellent. Now that I have these about prepared, let me just clip some of this stuff a little closer to size. Again, that arm's going to get built out, so even if there's a little bit sticking off, it shouldn't be the end of the world. You, good sir. Okay, and you're already a good length. Okay, pick off some little metal bits. Scraped prematurely. Did I throw that away? My bench scraper? Or is it underneath something? I may have thrown it away. It wouldn't surprise me if I just like... Nope, it's right here. Okay. All right, now we're gonna put the torso back together. Then we'll figure out the hips. I think that's gonna be a good choice. So let's get her laid out here. All right, shoulder. Shoulder and shoulder. Yeah, she's got a distance between her. There's no way for me to pick this up, so I'm just gonna move this camera over here. So get ready for some awkward angles. Can you see her? There she is. She may be blurry. If she's blurry, that sucks to be you. But yeah, so that's how much space I need to put between her. That's fine. We can do that. I don't mind. I do have some questions about how the legs will end up if I put them right back in their sockets. Yeah, they're going to be a little too wide out. So I think I'm actually going to angle the lower part of the body in so that it will pull her legs a little further in. So I think what I'm actually going to wind up with, in a minute I'll show you, is this. Which still puts my shoulders at the right spot, which is fine. And yeah, that'll allow me to add the padding where it needs to be added on the hips and stuff. And it puts the legs like below my shoulders instead of outside them, which is good. That's how we want it to be. So I want a pencil. I want a pencil. I'm gonna take the pencil. I'm gonna put a V on the inner divide of this, and then at where the waist is on the outside. I'm just gonna draw it over top of my picture, and I'm not gonna worry about it. You know what? We're actually gonna give you a little weird little blimp down where the crotch is. Okay, and we'll just mark the top of the shoulders as well, because why not? I have a pencil. Okay, let me just fill in those marks a little better. You're not going to be able to see them when I show you this because it's gray on top of black and white, and it's just going to blend in with the rest of everything else. So I'm not going to bother to show you. I already showed you generally how it's going to sit, so I don't really feel bad. All right. Okay. Excellent. Legs over there. Let's get the head up here. This is the point at which I will be attaching the head. So I do need to figure out, I'm going to be taller in my doll form than I am in real life. There's just no avoiding it. So yeah, that's fun. Wire. I need wire. Now the question I really have is, do I want to string like some kind of elastic, like lace elastic through there so it's kind of pulling in, and then I'll put stuff in there to push it further apart? That could just make my life harder though, because everything will be moving and shifting around while I'm trying to put stuff on top of it later. I think I'm going to stick with wire. All right. Oh my goodness, my friggin' face. One day my face is not going to itch because something's touching it, but today is not that day. All right, let me just grab another wire. It's going to be a wire I don't really want to use on another project. So let me see what kinds of wire I've got going on here. All right, we got an orange 16, a red 18, and a pink 18. I don't know if that 16 gauge is going to fit in there. Let's see how close of a fit the 18 is. Oh, no, that seems like it will, now that I've poked a thing through it. Let's just take a little test. Yes, okay. So 16 gauge is the highest size, highest gauge of what? Lowest. Okay, so when you're doing gauges, the higher the number, the smaller the size of the wire. So because it's like a fraction of a thing. So this is 16 gauge, so it's a little bit bigger than the 18. And this is the largest circumference of wire that will fit through these holes. So this is, anything I use has to be smaller than this. Hey pals, the video that I recorded this day ended up being super long, so I split it in two. And so you're gonna have to wait for me to finish editing the next one to get the second half of putting this doll torso together. So, yay!